Please stand by.
Loading. Loading complete.
30,
29, 28,
27,
26, 25, 24, 22,
21, 20, 18,
17,
16, 15, 14, 13,
12,
11, 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5,
4,
2,
1. Now for what you've all been waiting for.
Oh, good morning, good day, good evening, good night, good wherever it happens to be where you are. And hello to everybody in the future. It looks like again I'm opening up to an empty house, so I guess I'll just start up with a lonely song. Just like a melody that lingers on, you seem to haunt my night and day. I never realized till you had gone how much I cared about you. I can't live without you. All alone, I'm so all alone. There's no one else but you. All alone by the telephone, waiting for a ring, a ting-a-ling. I'm all alone every evening, all alone, feeling blue, wondering where you are and how you are, and if you are all alone too. Just for a moment you were mine, and then you seemed to vanish like a dream. I long to hold you in my arms again. My life is very lonely, for I want you only. All alone, I'm so all alone. There's no one else but you. All alone by the telephone, waiting for a ring, a ting-a-ling. I'm all alone every evening, all alone, feeling blue, wondering where you are and how you are, and if you are all alone too. All alone. So, how do we have here? Nope, still all by myself here. All right. Well, let's see what else we got here to sing. The show must go on, and people will watch this later, I hope. Uh, um, yeah, this might work. Let's see here. New song. Haven't done this one yet on the show. Excuse me if I sound a little raspy today, and the singing isn't quite up to par, but I was dealing with some congestion the other day, so hopefully it won't cause too much ear bleeding. All right. So this one, and I haven't done on the show before, but I've been practicing it, so let's hopefully I can get this right. I dream of Jeannie with the light brown hair, born like a vapor on the summer air. I see her tripping where the bright streams play, happy as the daisies that dance on her way. Many were the wild notes her merry voice would pour, many were the blithe birds that warbled them o'er. Oh, I dream of Jeanie with a light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. I long for Jeanie with a day-dawn smile, radiant in gladness, warm with winning guile. I hear her melodies like a joy's gone by, sighing round my heart, oh, the fond hopes that die. Sighing like the night wind, sobbing like the rain, wailing for the lost one that comes not again. Oh, I long for Jeanie, and my heart bows low, never more to find her where the bright waters flow. I sigh for Jeanie, but her light form strayed far from the fond hearts around her native glade. Her smiles have vanished and her sweet songs flown, flitting like the dreams that have cheered us and gone. Now the nodding wild flowers may wither on the shore, while her gentle fingers will cull them no more. Oh, I sigh for Jeanie with the light brown hair, floating like a vapor on the soft summer air. Yeah, I dream of Jeanie. Hey, nice to have you here. Yeah, and see what I got. Well, I've actually got viewers now. Great. Well, since I've actually got somebody watching me now, let's see here. How about we begin to do this song here? You know, we got we got fun. I looked it up. I found a bunch of different versions, so I kind of cobbled together my own little version of this. Every morning, every evening, ain't we got fun? Not much money, oh, but honey, ain't we got fun? The rent's unpaid, dear, we haven't a bus, but smiles were made, dear, for people like us. In the winter, in the summer, don't we have fun? Times are bumming, getting bummer, still we have fun. There's nothing sure, the rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Tax collectors getting closer, still we have fun. Twins and cares, dear, come in pairs, dear. Don't we have fun? We've only started, no, we're not downhearted. When I'm laid off, I'll be paid off. Ain't we got fun? Landlord's mad and getting madder. Ain't we got fun? Times are bad and getting badder. Still we have fun. There's nothing sure. The rich get rich and the poor get poor. In the meantime, in between time, ain't we got fun? Ain't we got fun? Well, I hope we're having fun. And if you're not having fun, well, get some. It's good for you. But if that song didn't do it for you, maybe this one will get you in the mood for some fun. Have you seen the well-to-do up on Lexing Avenue on the famous thoroughfare with their noses in there, high hats and narrow collars, white spats with $15, spending every dime for a wonderful time? If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Putting on the Ritz, spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits. Putting on the Ritz, that's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits. Putting on the Ritz. If you're blue and you don't know where to go to, why don't you go where Harlem flits? Putting on the Ritz, spangled gowns upon the devy of highbrows from down the levee, all misfits. Putting on the Ritz, that's where each and every Lulu Belle goes. Every Thursday evening with her swell bows, rubbing elbows, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits. Putting on the Ritz, come with me and we'll attend their jubilee and see them spend their last 2 bits. Putting on the Ritz. putting on the Ritz, putting on the Ritz. All right. So, how's everybody doing? And I lost my place on. There we are. Okay, I was trying to find my show notes here for later. Okay, good for that. And that. Now let's see here. Might as well just jump right into this. Yeah, glad to hear it. This is a good place to relax. All right. So first bit of news here: Has Been Hotel fandom are sweet, endearing, and freaking crazy, says this Charlie Morningstar actor Erica Henningsen. uh, Hey, has been fans. Yeah, she read reading this article. Guess that's what Erica Henningsen thinks you're awesome. Has been hotel voice actress can't get enough of the fandom, and if MegaCon is any indication, and the feeling is mutual. During the Spotlight panel at MegaCon in 2025, Henningsen spoke to a room of has been fans and was immediately overcome with emotion. People are like, gosh, that must have been overwhelming. And I'm like no, because our fans are crazy, but they're crazy in a nice, sweet, endearing way that makes me want to kiss you all. But no, we can't because that's a lot. Henningsen said, I don't really know a fan base that's like that. Maybe there are other ones, but ours just has this very nice, very specific vibe to it. And you see, when you walk through the convention, and you're like, yeah, that's the section, and there's that section, and that's the has been in section, and we get it, but it's good. The energy is good. Always nice to see people who enjoy and appreciate the fandoms, isn't it? At the point, someone in the audience yelled that it was all about millennial trauma, and the sentiment immediately he clicked for Henningsen. Oh my god! And somebody bring me a shirt that it says it's all about millennial trauma. And by Sunday, Henningsen said. I sat in the panel, and I could feel the love of between Henningsen and her has-been classmate. It's in the audience. She's right. It's fucking crazy, but it's kind of crazy, and I wouldn't have it any other way. Yes. Now, if now it's something that we a lot of plays fandoms and actors and all that learn from that kind of interaction with your fans. We need more of that. Yeah. Stopping through to thumbs up the live stream. Say hello. Have an awesome evening and a wonderful week ahead. You too, DJ. All right. What else do I put up here? Oh, yes, this little bit here. The thing wants to work. Okay, good. It works. Okay. Marvel just changed Ghost Rider's penance there, and now he's got the same power as everyone's favorite Naruto villain. Ghost Rider's powers have always been a bit ill-defined. Not really. With new ones being added or removed at the whim of the writers. However, probably his most iconic and endearing power, aside from him riding a wicked motorcycle, which they took that away from one of the versions, has been in his penance stare. For decades, it was assumed that it always reflected the weight of a person's sins back at them. But now Marvel has given it a new wrinkle that surprisingly brings him in line with everyone's favorite Naruto villain, in Itachi Uchi. Yeah. In Spirit of Vengeance, in number 6, Ghost Rider uses his pants stare. This is in itself isn't unusual, but this time he uses it on Linda, the little tree. The character's occasional love interest, instead of using the stare to make her live out her worst moment and to confront the total weight of her sins, Ghost Rider uses it to extend in time, allowing the pair a lifetime to say goodbye in the moment and it took for her to die. The subtle shift in how the Panister works, making it a pocket dimension that Ghost Rider can control, brings a Marvel character in line with the Naruto character. His older brother Naruto, anime and manga, uses his Tsukayami to play his victims in an illusion where he could torture them for years while only a few seconds pass in the real world. His famously used this ability against his Kakashi early in the anime he's run, and stabbing him hundreds of times in a second. While it isn't clear if Marvel's writer is directly inspired by Naruto when reimagining Ghost Rider, there's penance there, where the change does give him the same terrifying power as Itachi Uchiha. And that is just fun, a bit of trivia to keep it in the back of the pocket, the slow moment in conversation. Yeah, well, I checked out the comic book that they're talking about early in the week. It wasn't a very long panel that they had this whole thing taking place in. My thoughts, if they use it, if they really do change it to where he's actually controlling it now, I don't think I'd really care for that change. I think I'd prefer if this was more of a one-off and it was just his love, like kind of overpowering the whole effect. I think that kind of change would work a lot better. But this is Marvel we're talking about, so you actually expect them to do a good job here. And in other news, you have talks. Apparently, they're hinting that they're going to be bringing Gwen Stacy back. And we're talking about 616 Gwen Stacy here. Marvel, please, just stop. Bringing characters back does not help. It's making it lame. So, we have that. Apparently, they're going to be doing this in May 2025, so in a few months, we'll find out what's going on with this. Actually, I'm going to save this one for a little bit later. But this was a little better. This is better. Yeah, keep the good news coming. Here we have cast of One Piece, the live action series. The Grand Line Waits One Piece has wrapped up filming up for season 2. All right, something good to look forward to. So far, season 1 was amazing. Highly recommend it. Of course, it's on Netflix. It's tired of waiting for her transponder or snail to bring you the latest on One Piece season 2. We've got you covered. In a special video in September 2023 series, his creator Ichiro Oda shared with fans how delighted he was that people around the world have been enjoying the show. He added that 2 weeks after the launch, when she received some great news, and Netflix had decided to renew the show for a second season. Very smart of you, Netflix. Very smart. The Netflix of Vanaka and the live action in Straw Hat will continue onward. So while you wait for the return of your favorite Straw Hat, here's everything we know so far about One Piece Season 2, including in production and updates, a letter from Oda, major casting news, and tons of behind-the-scenes peeks. All right. Has One Piece Season 2 finally finished filming? Yes. That's a wrap on Season 2. The cat has commemorated the end of production with a special behind-the-scenes photo, which you can check out at the top of the story. I guess that's this shot here, or maybe this shot. I guess this is the video. Okay, well I'm not gonna play the video, but okay, so they're talking about this photo here. All right. Oda previously he shared an update while filming for the new season and was well underway. Teasing that the story will cover Loga Town, Riverside, Riverside Mountain, and Twin Capes, Whiskey Peak, Little Island, and Drum Island. And see his full statement below. Whew. Should I read this whole thing? I don't know. It seems kind of long. Well, anyway, I'll put this up on screen in proper so everybody can see it. You can read it for yourself this way. If you go on the playback, so I'll just leave that for a little bit longer so you can just get a good read on that. So, all right. Let's leave that up for about 10 seconds there so you can get a good read on it. Okay. We'll get back to the story here. All right. Flying in from all around the world, Mexico, Japan, Los Angeles, and Las Vegas. This is Straw Hat, and it's headed back to South Africa to film One Piece Season 2, including Monkey D. Luffy, Roro, Zoro, Nami, Usopp, Bensanji. What was Oda on the set for One Piece Season 2? Yes. From what I hear, he basically kept his thumb on this whole project all the way through. He made it to South Africa for filming, where he spoke with the returning cast from Season 1. And he also chatted with each of the Season 2 newcomers, including Bridgerton's Chandra. Excuse me if I'm butchering any of these names. And never have I ever Sindil Ramamarathi. Went to South Africa and all that. There's another one, and for you guys to have a quick look at. So we got this little note from them. All right. My own cat selections were made from Japan and over photos and videos, but seeing them all in person convinced me they were absolutely the perfect choice. Oda wrote in a letter from his visit, adding that the vibe on set it was just the best. Can you see a script page from One Piece Season 2? You sure can. Check out the cover page for Season 2, Episode 1, beginning and the end, and above. So that's the script page right there. All right. What will happen in One Piece Season 2? In One Piece co-showrunner, writer, and executive producer Matt Owen, in his previously conversation with student, he revealed that Dr. Kuria will will definitely be part of season 2 when season 2 writers room and get together. We knew how far we were going to get, and that's this character, Dr. Mercuria. It was going to be a big part of the season. Owens is also eager to introduce viewers to one another fan favorite next season, and especially since Oda told everyone we'll be meeting Chopper in season 2. The Straw Hats are also going to be in the Grand Line in the place that we were talking about all season 1, and we're in it now, said Owens. You kind of had to get them there in season 2, really. And apparently we got Dragon, who's going to be in season 2 cast. We can remember for One Piece season 2 includes Dragon, Igor, Rama. Well, there's a whole cast right there. This is kind of a long list to read. Previously announced. Check here for more announcements about the One Piece cast. Can I see some photos from the set of One Piece season 2? Sure. See above for a glimpse of the upcoming adventure of Oda with Chandra and above. I've joined Miss Wednesday and Miss All Sunday respectively. Who else was in One Piece season 1? In addition to Straw Hats, One Piece cast includes Morgan and Davy as Kobe, Aiden and Scott as Helmet Hippo, Vincent and Reagan as Vice Admiral Garp, Langley Kirkwood as Captain in Axe Hand, and Morgan and Fairbrass and Zeph Peter. Peter got and Shanks, Ila Pelusi and Abby Ida, Jeff Ward, it is Buggy the Clown, and Alexander Miss as Calador, Arlong, Student Word is Dracula Mihawk. Dracul Mihawk. I love that that guy. Wade. That was an excellent Mihawk. And this Gold Roger, here's young Luffy. This is basically going through the original cast of season 1. One lovely piece of season of One Piece cast BTA. Skylar actually got Fairbrand as cast as Chef Zev. He hadn't found Zev yet as we were auditioning. Taz came to me one day and said, I don't know if this is appropriate or a big swing thing or whatever, but you guys you should talk to Craig Fairbrass. So I've worked with him before. I love him. I think he's been down, so reaching out. Craig got the role. Owens previously said. Can I get a tour of the One Piece season 2 set? Yes. Clown around on One Piece season 2 set with Buggy the Clown on himself, with Jeff Ward of the video above. I'm not going to be playing any of the video, so you can see it's in Tudum. If you want to go check this out yourself on Netflix.com. Ward in the video above was his debut as part of the Geek Week 2024 Geek Week. Netflix annual fandom testimony. Leon, who has been friends with his words and so worked out in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. together. Join him for a few of the stops up to see the new department and sets, locations, and more. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is one show I have really got to get it to checking out. I've never actually got around to seeing that. There are a few spoiler details you can't see, but fans of the original manga will be thrilled to spot Usopp's sniper goggles. Umat at his arm shop and Crocus his twin in Cape a blight have some one very very large syringe. Ready to meet a Chopper in One Piece season 2? Gotti, he can't wait to introduce you to the One Piece season 2 reindeer boy. Oh, and there we have a little shot of him from behind. Chopper, busy steady. He is his line ahead of his debut in season 2, but get a sneak peek at him in the video above.
Yo, guys.
Nope, not gonna play that. What is One Piece about? The franchise follows young. If you don't know what One Piece is about, come on. You got pirates. Yes, you got devil fruit. You got superpowers. You got off the wall fights and abilities. It's fun. That's what One Piece is about. How does the cat celebrate One Piece Day? He good wishes he could be in Japan and celebrate One Piece Day with all the fans. And he couldn't this year because as he was in Cape Town in South Africa filming season 2 with a Straw Hat crew, but to celebrate the Nakama, not just on One Piece Day, but every day during the shoot. He was learning Japanese. I really should work on my own Japanese. He's one of these days, so I don't keep butchering everything. Check out his progress in the video above. That's how big was One Piece season 1. Pretty big. Over 37.8 million views amassed in less than 2 weeks since its release. It was good. You haven't seen in One Piece season 1, go check it out. Seriously. When is Luffy's birthday? Monkey D. Luffy, his big day falls on May 5th. Luffy, thank you so much for everything that you have done and for me and many others around the world. Says is going to be in the video above. If you celebrate it's with a birthday cake that resembles a melting candle. Well, you have made you make us happy, inspire us to follow our dreams, and you're just the coolest pirate captain ever. I am so happy to be part of your journey. Yep. How does One Piece celebrate April Fool's Day? This is getting into just clickbait stuff. Well, I'm not going to get into how season 1 ended. He's spoiling things. But that little bit, it took me longer to read than I expected. Oh, well, one little last thing on One Piece is to add. Don't need to really read this article, but this is a showcase. They're releasing Lego sets that's for One Piece. Oh, they're releasing Lego sets for the Netflix series. Okay, cool. And here's a nice little preview. Luffy's hat. So, some lovely Lego sets that I won't have the money to buy. Get a little drink after reading all that. Well, since that took a little bit longer to read, let's get into a little something, into a little song. This is something I found just just really a few hours before I started its streamings, and so I figured I'd put this together. Just kind of a little randomizer for what song to sing. That way, I'm not sitting here second guessing what to do who next. And the song will be. All right. Let's find the song. Let's see here. Of course, I can't find the song. Let's see. Find the lyrics for the song. Where are you? Lyrics. Where are the lyrics? You should have this memorized by now. Here we are. I've got a little baby, she's out of sight. I talk to her across the telephone. I've seen my honey, but she's mine, alright. So take my tip and leave this gal alone. Every single morning you can hear me yell, "Hey Central, fix me up across the line." He connects me with my honey and I ring the bell. And this is what I say to baby mine. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me, then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own. Hello, hello, baby. Hello, I guess you can't hear me. The wires must be crossed somewhere. Hello, hello, I said hello this morning through the phone. She said her name was Bess. Now I kind of know where I am at. I'm satisfied because I got my babe's dress here pasted in the lining of my hat. I might scare if the wires get crossed, they'll separate me from my baby mine, and some other fool will win her, and the game is lost. So each day I shout across the line. Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey. Hello, my ragtime gal. Send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you lose me, then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own. Come on, baby. Hello, my baby. Also, better known as the Frog Song. Yeah. Yeah, if you like the wheel thing, let's try it one more time. See how things go. So pull up the wheel again, and what are we gonna get this time? We have Beautiful Dreamer. Okay, that should be easier to find. Here we are. Beautiful dreamer, wake unto me. Starlight and dewdrops are waiting for thee. Sounds of the rude world, heard in the day, lulled by the moonlight, have all passed away. Beautiful dreamer, queen of my song, list while I woo thee with soft melody. Gone are the cares of life's busy throng. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, out on the sea, mermaids are chanting the wild lorry. Over the streamlets, vapors are born, waiting to fade at the bright coming morn. Beautiful dreamer, beam on my heart, and as the morn on the streamlet and sea, then will all clouds of sorrow depart. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer, awake unto me. Beautiful dreamer. So, moving right along. Nice, another little segment here. It's a little thing here, and we have Captain America: Brave New World. World is the start of Avengers 2.0. Boy, are they in trouble. It has been in almost 6 years since the Avengers broke up following the defeat of Thanos and the death of Tony Stark, but it was only a matter of time until the world needed the mightiest heroes once again, with new Avengers movies is coming in 2026 and 2027. Oh, please. No, please. The MCU who needs to reassemble the team pretty quickly. It shows, too. Thankfully, the first step in recruiting the next version of the Avengers is begins in Captain America: Brave New World. Whew. Yeah, an opening having a budget of 180 million and an opening of 40 million. It's not doing so good. We know people will miss the Avengers as we miss the Avengers. No, Endgame was kind of, the end, really, for a lot of people. It says Nate Moore, a veteran and producer at Marvel Studios and one of the guiding hands behind in the fourth Captain America film. But we knew if we jumped right back into the Avengers after Endgame, we wouldn't give people a chance to miss it. And we're still not missing it. More knows that this very best Avengers team across the history of Marvel comics had Captain America at the center. And so after Steve Rogers handed his shield over to Sam Wilson, he's Falcon, not Captain, at the end of Avengers Endgame, the MCU had to spend time building Wilson up into the kind of leader he needs to be. Yeah, I mean, like that clip of him getting his ass kicked by a random thug while his sidekick single-handedly takes out 3 people in about a second. That kind of building up. That takes time in part because Ms. Wilson did not take to the role of Captain America easily. Well, that's for saying something. The 6-part Disney Plus show, The Falcon and Winter Soldier, explore the struggling with the transition, and thankfully by the event of Brave New World, Wilson and wears the red, white, and blue with pride. Well, he's got pride in it. Well, the character at least. But just says he has overcome the challenge of becoming in Captain America. He's presented with the whole new, more daunting task to become the leader of New Avengers team. Yeah, okay. Press release clips. Acting scene President Ross, yada yada yada. Well, basically they're putting together another Avengers team. And I kind of doubt there are too many people really looking forward to this. So let's look at something good that came not so much from Marvel per se, but some fan inspiration. I always like to showcase somebody's artwork on here and give them a little shout out. And this is freaking amazing stuff right here. Oh, hello! Thank you for showing up. I hope you enjoyed the show. This is amazing, the way what this guy did here. I don't know if you're familiar with it. If you haven't been, if you don't know about the Marvel trading cards, this is from the second set of cards, and this guy brought them to life. And check that out. We got Mr. Fantastic, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange here, Phoenix, Venom, Storm, Thor. Iron Man, and Shadowcat. I really quite like the Shadowcat card, personally. But this goes to the shout out here for artwork. Goes to Joel for Hurtado. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly. With the Marvel 1991 animated trading card recap. Now this guy I've seen, he's got Vancouver, BC. He's got a little gallery you can buy from imprint.com. Apparently he does commissions. So there is somebody you can check out for some nice geeky artwork. And while I'm the subject of Captain America, this is kind of a last minute thing, but I thought this would be interesting, a little thing to cover. Captain America's shield. Now you can see in this is I didn't have my screen shot set up for this, so you're gonna have to go for just the static image here. A new shield. It's magnificent. It's much lighter than my old shield, and with its disc shape, I'll be able to hurl it twice as far. Or it'd be as effective of an offensive weapon as a defensive one. I assume it's as bulletproof as my old shield, even more so. In fact, I'm told that the metal in the shield has some incredible properties. If only the metallurgical accident which produced it could be duplicated. What he's talking about out there is proto-adamantium. Now, the round shield is made out of a combination of vibranium, iron alloyed, a third crystalline, and has never been duplicated. A third crystalline that's never been duplicated, called proto-adamantium. Now, this stuff is a little bit different from the adamantium that Wolverine has in his bones. This is basically the sort of a prototype version of it. That's the name. But we've had different people will comment on it. However, of course, you know about in the movies, he's of course the shield is made of just vibranium, and they do a pretty good job of showcasing what vibranium can do in the movie. He too, because basically vibranium is a metal that is able to absorb kinetic energy, and then it can also release kinetic energy, which I suspect is the reason why Captain's shield is able to bounce around the way it does. Because once it hits an object, it's basically releasing a little bit of kinetic energy to bounce away again. If it didn't, all it did was just absorb the kinetic energy instead of absorbing and releasing, then the shield would probably just hit something and just fall. Because there would be no kinetic energy to drive it. Also, the fact that it can absorb kinetic energy is the reason why a Cap can stand there and take a punch from someone like the Hulk and not get completely smashed or flung into space. But on the note of Captain America's shield, his original shield was more of a heater shield, which as you saw, he was talking about in that comic book panel, how the disc shape will allow it to fly farther and all that. But there was a nice little bit of it here. You're off of Shadiversity, where they actually kind of tested out the shields. They had made a mock Captain America shield out of metal, and they tried throwing it, did a bunch of little tests, but they also had a heater shield that they were testing out. Now, I'm not going to play the whole clip because I don't want to. I know if you want to see the whole clip, you can see the name up there. Or you can just look Captain America. So the name of this particular clip is we compared Captain America's shield to historical shield. Those results were interesting. You can go check out Shadowversity's channel. Well, it's pretty interesting little weeb stuff, testing medieval arms and armor and stuff. But I just wanted to show this one little segment of the clip. Yeah, that just kind of gave you an idea of what the heater shield actually you can do.
I'm gonna try multiple ways.
I'm sure you will. Good luck.
I think I'm gonna that away, and a spin. So first spin. Ready? Boom! Boom!
You're all right.
All right. That was all right.
That didn't work so well.
Cool.
The air just like pushed it down.
Yeah. I could tell actually exactly what you said. Yep.
No, seriously.
Any rate, I don't want to play too much of his clip because it's his stuff and all that. But the end results basically, they're actually hitting the target and being more accurate with the target with the heater shield than with the Captain America shield. So interesting little thing. You can go check out your stuff. So, moving right along here. Let's get back to a little bit of singing. How's that sound? So you want to get your plugs ready, obviously. Let's see what's next on the list. Bring up the Wheel o' Misfortune, or I don't know, whatever we want to call this thing. You must have been a beautiful baby. All right. You must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child. When you were only starting to go to kindergarten, you must have drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize, as you must have made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Does your mother realize Stork delivered quite a prize the day he left you on the family tree? Does your dad appreciate that you're merely super great? A miracle for any century. If they don't, just send them both to me. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby. You must have been a wonderful child. When you were only starting to go to kindergarten, you must have drove the little boys wild. And when it came to winning blue ribbons, you must have shown the other kids how. I can see the judge's eyes as they handed you the prize. You must have made the cutest bow. Oh, you must have been a beautiful baby, 'cause baby, look at you now. Yeah, that one I actually have memorized. So, chat, go ahead, chat and participate. This is, I appreciate interaction. Get a little sip of Tullamore Dew honey for my throat because I was congested yesterday and I want to sound at least a little bit better than in Beyond Unbleeding Ears. So maybe one more song, maybe? Oh, actually, better yet. Or maybe not better yet. Just thought of something. Let's see here. Find it. Do. Now, if you've looked on my channel, you'll notice that I released a video titled Kittens of Destruction, and it seems to have done pretty well, so I've been working on other videos as well to release. And here's another music video I've been working on, titled Be the Hero.
Look to the sky as the world crumbles around us and the darkness takes over. The world calls out for a hero, but no one hears our cries. I'm not a hero. I cannot save the world. The world needs a hero. Who will be the hero we need? We're trapped in a prison made of our ignorance and fear. The darkness surrounds us and takes over. We're falling off the edge. What can I do? I'm not superhuman. The world needs a hero. Is there a hero in me? The darkness surrounds us. We can't let this world fall apart. We need a hero to save us. I'm gonna stand up and be the hero I need. The world needs a hero. I'll be the hero we need. I'll face the darkness. I'll never let it take me again. The world needs a hero, and the one I need is the one within. We can't hold out for a hero. The heroes must be you and me, so be the hero you need.
So that's that one. I'm making these with now. What you're hearing is they're my lyrics. I wrote the lyrics, but I'm having Suno, an AI system, do the singing. And maybe down the road, I'll come up with a nice little creative way to help generate some creativity with real artists. But that's for the future. And while I'm at it, I'll just showcase all the ones I've got here so far. So there's that one. There's this one. An evolution song.
Evolution is the change over time in a group's genetics from one generation to the next. As they split and divide, we get new species, all remaining in a nested hierarchy. This gives us the birds and the trees, the flowers and the bees, and animals like you and me. Evolution is the change over time in a group's genetics over many generations. What benefits or not depends on the environment. This is natural selection at work. There's also the genetic drift and the flow, and all the mutations
that one. I made that one on Charles Darwin's birthday, also Abraham Lincoln's birthday, if you happen to know. And the final one I've been kind of putting together here. Let's see here to do. Yep. Oh, yes. I also gotta say hello to you guys. Yes, I'm glad you were able to make it. I mean, you're just in time to hear the last of the 3 Isuna songs I made, which I plan to upload to my channel at some point. They'll be I want to kind of intersperse them between other videos, so I don't just fill up my entire channel with just the songs. And I hope you're having a wonderful Sunday evening as well, or Sunday, or I guess Saturday morning for you, Deep State. Monday morning, excuse me. Let's see here. The final one here is this came now this one, and I'll describe it after you listen to it.
Showtime, get it on now. It's my cue now. The bright lights shining on the stage tonight. My heart is pounding with delight. I've wanted this all my life. Standing in the spotlight, I'm gonna make my dreams come true. Showtime, get it on now. I'm a star now. Can't hold back, my dreams are burning bright, and I won't stop till I'm at the top tonight. Tonight, take center stage. This is my dream come true.
All right. So that's the third one, and I came up with. That one was actually inspired by a mishearing of lyrics from the second intro to the anime Aquarion. The actual the lyrics to Aquarion is "Go tight, it's showtime," and it goes into some Japanese, but I originally kind of misheard it a little bit, and I heard it as "Go time, showtime," and I started just kind of writing the whole song along off of that. Make those dreams come true. As what Keegan might say, those dreams aren't gonna make themselves come to. Fantastic. Well, sort it out, but hopping in here and there and to try and cut that is all right. Well, maybe you guys can talk about yourself as to which of those 3 you think I should upload first. Actually, why don't I do this to? I haven't really tried this before, but let's give this a shot if it lets me do it. And of course it's not going to let me do it. Okay. Huh. Well, I had the feature here, and it's not there now. Let me try popping out the chat, see if it shows up then. Nope, not gonna show up. Unfortunately, it doesn't seem. I had the feature to do polls, and it's now missing. Thank you, YouTube. Well, you can just talk about it amongst yourselves. So the options were there's a hero song, the evolution song, or the pop up song. I don't think I want to sing after you're playing those. I'm going to sound a lot worse. So, instead of getting to singing, how about I get into trivia? So, they live. Writer and director John Carpenter has said of this movie that it was a critique of Reaganomics, a vehicle to take on Reaganism. However, over the year, there's several neo-Nazi and white supremacist groups co-opted the movie for their own purpose, spreading rumors that it is really an allegory for Jews controlling the world. This forced Carpenter to respond on Twitter in 2017 by stating, "They live is about yuppie, he's unrestrained in capitalism. It has nothing to do with Jewish control of the world, which is slander and a lie." Also, might be worth noting that They Live is a pretty good example of how you can have a social political message in your movie and still be entertaining. Come on, learn something from your past, Hollywood. For years after the film's release, and even on the movie's DVD commentary, Roddy Piper maintained that the film was based on an actual incident in the 1950s in which a company manufactured a TV that planted its subliminal messages in women's brains, instructing them to make extravagant purchases. Piper was unaware that the documentary, quote marks, he had seen in L'Affaire Brunswick, 1978, was in fact a comedy short. And this is a clip from that short that you see on screen. Vince McMahon didn't want Roddy Piper to do the film. I wonder why. Could it be, well, you see the picture. Yeah, I figured. It's John Carpenter or McMahon, and told Piper that he would find him in a different film at the same pay rate within 4 weeks. But Piper passed and ended up splitting with the WWF. At least then it was called the WWF. Now it's WWE. Carpenter asked why, and Piper stated plainly that McMahon is a control freak. When I came back to wrestling, I was twice as important as when I left. No surprise. He said his and credits Carpenter and the success of the film. The politics of that business is something I don't get, says Carpenter. This is interesting. The shot you see here, it cost them $12,000 to have the train roll by for this opening shot, and the technical error required them to do it twice. John Carpenter was impressed with Keith David's performance in The Thing, 1982, which we have a screenshot from the end of the movie there, and he had someone who wouldn't be a traditional sidekick, but it could hold his own. And to this end, Carpenter wrote the role of Frank specifically for David. All right. And The Thing, excellent movie. This is actually the remake of the Thing, but they're both excellent movies. I actually prefer this version, which is a rare thing to actually prefer the remake over the original. The only character given. Oh wait, skip this thing. Excuse me. Roddy Piper's character never gives his name, nor is he referred to by name throughout the entire movie. He is simply listed as Nada. In the credit, it's a reference to the character George Nada in Ray Faraday Nelson's short story 8 o'clock in the morning, which I will be getting to reading, which I will be reading later in this show, from which the film is adapted. The only character given a first name and last name is Holly Thompson, played by Meg Foster, as you can see here. Let's see. This was an interesting bit of trivia. All the various aliens throughout the movie, both male and female, were portrayed by a stunt coordinator, Jeff Imada, but the credits list the female ghoul was played by Michelle Costello. And they did have scenes with multiple ghouls in one shot, so obviously he didn't play every single one, but Imada played the ghouls who had close-ups and speaking parts. So anyone you see speaking or with a singular close-up, that's just him in the costume. The person we have on the screen there. He could fit into the costumes, as Carpenter before Piper added, and he didn't mind in the pumps. When you have 14 black belts, you can wear pumps. So, a few examples here. That'd be him in the costume there. That was the first school that Nada saw after finding the glasses. The lady there, that would be him again. It's probably him. This one didn't have a speaking role, but we did see a close-up of him at the salon. That does actually kind of look like a guy in a costume. I'm looking at it now. That would also be him there, probably. Him on TV, since it had the speaking role, singular. The cop, and we see another ghoul in the background, so obviously they had an extra there. And of course, good old formaldehyde face. And then we had multiple ghouls here. So the final 3 movies. This is a group of 3s for this guy, George, aka Buck Flower, about alien visitation. The first was Starman, and the second was Mac and Me, where he played an overzealous security guard at a grocery store. Even though Mac and Me was a crappy movie, I actually do have some fond memories of that movie, going to see it in the theater here with a friend who I've long since not been able to see again. Someone I miss. But we also have him playing. That's him playing the homeless man in They Live. But he also played the homeless man in Escape from New York, and a homeless man in Back to the Future. I think it was either 2 or I think it was 2 that he was the homeless man in. John Carpenter brought real homeless folks into the production for several scenes and smaller characters, and gave them food and as well as a paycheck. I thought that was a pretty classy thing to do, said Roddy Piper. And in this shot, we can see a lot of background extras, so there's a pretty good chance that at least some of these were real homeless folks. Roddy Piper recalls it being uncomfortably easy to get into the mindset of a homeless person. I lived on the streets myself, he said, and so it didn't take long to you kind of get the feeling of what's going on. Everybody he's got their own little life, and they think that's it, and nobody is helping anybody. And it's a sad situation for people on the street. And we can really do something about it too. But at any rate, it's getting a little bit too far into what I should be talking about on this particular channel. Unsurprisingly, both Carpenter and Piper have a problem with authority. I have this adolescent hatred of authority, says Carpenter. I've never gotten over it since I was a kid. Piper adds, ask me for my shirt off my back and I'll give it to you. Tell me, not a chance. I'm kind of the same way too. The scene in where the police attack and destroy the homeless shelter, which we have on screen, in encampment, it was difficult for Piper to shoot as it reminded him of a similar event he witnessed in his own life. It was a painful little scene for me, he says. Just think about that. A scene like this really happened, and probably has happened multiple times. Roddy Piper's shirtless scene raised the conspiracy theory that no one but Piper was aware of. The rumor was that you had taken in his head and put it on someone else's body. He and people don't believe that it's his real body. What are you talking about? Asked Carpenter incredulously. Apparently, Piper was dogged at a subsequent wrestling event, and by fans claiming the film had used computers to falsify his physique. That's ridiculous, says Carpenter. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty ridiculous, considering this movie was made in the 80s, and they didn't have that level of technology to do something like that at the time. In the story, the aliens are only seen by people wearing special sunglasses. This, however, is not the only first time in the basic plot line was used. The first was in a TV movie called The Love of War from 1970, which I should have grabbed a screenshot of the thing for. The sunglasses, called Hoffman lenses, are named after Albert Hoffman, the creator or discoverer of LSD. It was Roddy Piper himself who came up with the famous one-liner. I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubblegum. According to the director John Carpenter, Piper had previously written in the line in his notebook of potential verbal bits during his wrestling career. He shared the notebook with Carpenter. They agreed that this particular line fit the character in the film perfectly. Piper went on to use it as in a wrestling match. Get a little water. The big fight sequence was designed and rehearsed and choreographed in the backyard of director John Carpenter's production office. The fight between Nada, Roddy Piper, and Frank, Keith David, it was only supposed to last 20 seconds. But Piper and David decided to fight it out for real, only faking the hits to the face and groin. So that is a real punch right there. They rehearsed the fight for 3 weeks. Carpenter was so impressed as he kept the scene intact, which runs for 5 minutes, 20 seconds. Years later on, the documentary In Search of Darkness, a journey into iconic 80s horror, which was released in 2019, and David recounts the event, smiling giddily as he said, It was good fun. I never felt not safer in any fight as Piper, a professional wrestler, coached David on how to sell the look of the punch and savage moves and exaggerated it for making it appear more brutal than it actually was. Yeah, we talk about wrestling being fake and all that, but they do actually take real punches. They just do exaggerate it to make it look more worse than it actually is. And truth be told, it really is an art form, and how they go about doing it. This might be something. I know we've got some ghosts heads in the audience, and so you might recognize this bit of prop. The communicator is used by the guards near the end is the PKE meter from Ghostbusters, which the movie Suburban Commando also used. In 2010, a remake movie, he was stated it as being in development with Carpenter in a producing role. In 2011, Matt Reeves signed on to direct and write its screenplay. The project eventually shifted away from being a direct remake of They Live to a readaptation of 8 o'clock in the morning, with the intent of abandoning the satirical and political element of the original movie. By October 2023, the producer Sandy King stated that a modern audience could see similarities with the events of the movie going on and in a real world context, while stating that an expansion from They Live would be announced shortly, while acknowledging the possibility of a sequel becoming a reality. Don't do a sequel. Don't do a remake. Don't do a sequel. Don't do it. I mean, your best bet out of that list would have been a readaptation of the original source material, but just don't. And that's the reason why I went with this particular screenshot for that bit of trivia. Uh, and let's see here. I don't have any trivia for the screenshot, but I just left it in because boobs. Boobs make everything better. If you want to see the uncensored version, you can go check out the movie. Amazon currently has the DVD for like $8. You can get Blu-ray for like $24. I mean, you buy a physical media, really. Good idea. And you get boobs. All right, that little bit of a palate cleanser. Let's see how things are going in the chat here. I think the Darwin I think the Darwin is the winner. Here we go with that one first. All right. Well, I'm glad I had to hear that. So, Darwin song first. Okay. I think I might just keep this in, and if I keep making these little Suno songs, maybe just keep that in as kind of a part of the weekly thing. Once I make a few Suno songs, I'll play them during the live stream. You can work out which ones you like to hear me upload. Might be a fun thing to add to the show. Get your earplugs ready. Yeah, and it's scientifically accurate too. So more of my horrible old singing. Blue skies. Okay, let's see here. I was blue, just as blue as I could be. Every day was a cloudy day for me. Then good luck came a knocking at my door. Skies were gray, but they're not gray anymore. Blue skies smiling at me. Nothing but blue skies do I see. Bluebirds singing a song. Nothing but bluebirds all day long. Never saw the sun shining so bright. Never saw things going so right. Noticing the days hurrying by. When you're in love, how they fly. Blue days, all of them gone. Nothing but blue skies from now on. Blue skies. Oh, I have a little friend and comes get tensions here. I got my doggy here that decided to show up. So we gotta get her run, get some thing up here. See here. Ah, yes. It's my doggo. Excuse my messy room. This is why one of the reasons why I don't put myself on camera. There's a lizard on the ceiling. And it's driving Molly nuts. That's my doggo Molly. She's sitting right here next to me. Being pet me, please, pet me. Oh, but one more song and then we'll get to the reading. How's that sound? Oh, I hope you like this idea of randomizing songs with this wheel. I might do other stuff with it as well. I found this. I just found this. It's not that long. Just before I started the show. Get Skidamarink. Down on the Bula Bula Island, where the mermaids chant, ran the big chief crocodile beneath an oyster plant. He loved to see the selfishly queen of the gay white wave. Each night in his shell he'd go to sea, and in tuneful scales he'd rave. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-boop, skidamarink-a-doo means I love you. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-boop, skidamarink-a-doo means I'll be true. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-boop, skidamarink-a-doo. All the time he sang this rhyme. Skidamarink-a-dink-a-boop, skidamarink-a-doo means I love you. But when the moonlight moon's pale, Kingfish Kokomo came floating over with his tail to say he loved her so. But she was true to crocodiles, said coconut, go away. I know in a little very well. you'll hear my lover say, Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. I love you in the morning and in the afternoon. I love you in the evening underneath the moon. Skidamarinka-dinka-boop, skidamarinka-doo, I love you. Yeah. Yeah, all right. Okay. Well, let's see what time it is. 9:30. Let's get to the reading. How's that sound? I don't want to go too. I don't want to go over here. So let me just get a drink of water here. Actually, get a little sip of my Tullamore Dew honey, and if you happen to have anything on you as well, drink them if you got them. I'm gonna have to buy myself some more Tullamore Dew honey this week. I'm running low. Can't run low on that stuff. At the end of the show, the hypnotist has told his subject, "Wake up. Something unusual happened." One of the subjects awoke all the way. This had never happened before. His name was George Nada, and he blinked out at the sea of faces in the theater, at first unaware of anything out of the ordinary. Then he noticed, spotted here and there in the crowd, the non-human faces, the faces of the fascinators. They had been there all along, of course, but only George was really aware. So only George recognized them for what they were. He understood everything in a flash, including the fact that if he were to give any outward sign, the fascinators would instantly command him to return into his former state, and he would obey. He left the theater, pushing out into the neon light, carefully, he avoiding any indication in that he saw the green reptilian flesh or the multiple yellow eyes of the rulers of the earth. One of them asked him, "Got a light, buddy?" George gave him a light, then moved on. At intervals along the street, George saw the poster was hanging with photographs of the fascinators, multiple eyes, and various commands printed under them, such as work 8 hours, play 8 hours, sleep 8 hours, and marry and reproduce. A TV he sat in the window of a store caught George's eye, but he looked away in the nick of time. And when he didn't look at the fascinator in the screen, and he could resist the command, stay tuned on this station. George lived alone in a little sleeping room. And as soon as he got home, the first thing he did was to disconnect the TV set. In other rooms, he could hear the TV sets of his neighbors, as though most of them, the voices were human. But now and then, and he heard the arrogant and strangely bird-like croaks of the aliens. "Obey the government," and said one croak. "We are the government," said another. "We are your friends. You do anything for a friend, wouldn't you? Obey. Work." Suddenly the phone rang. George picked it up. It was one of the fascinators. "Hello," it squawked. "This is your control, Chief of Police Robinson. You are an old man, George Nada. Tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock, your heart will stop. Please repeat." "I am an old man," said George. "Tomorrow at 8 o'clock, my heart will stop." The control hung up. "No, it won't," whispered George. He wondered why they wanted him dead. Did they suspect that he was awake? Probably. Someone might have spotted him, noticed that he didn't respond the way the others did. If George were alive at 1 minute after 8 tomorrow morning, they would be sure. No use waiting in here for the end, and he thought. He went out again. The posters, the TVs, the occasional commands from passing aliens did not seem to have any absolute power over him. Though he still felt strongly tempted to obey, to see things the way his master wanted him to see them. He passed an alley and stopped. One of the aliens was alone there, leaning against the wall. George walked up to him. Move on, and grunted the thing, focusing his deadly eyes on George. George felt his grasp on the awareness waver. For a moment, the reptilian had dissolved into the face of a lovable old drunk. Of course, the drunk would be lovable. George picked up a brick and smashed it down on the old drunk's head with all his strength. For a moment, the image blurred, and then the blue-green blood oozed out of the face, and the lizard fell, while twitching and writhing. And after a moment, it was dead. George dragged the body into the shadows and searched it. There was a tiny radio in its pocket, and a curiously shaped knife and a fork in the other. The tiny radio said something in an incomprehensible language. George put it down and beside the body, but it kept the eating utensils. I can't possibly escape, thought George. Why fight them? But maybe he could. What if he could wake others? That might be worth a try. He walked 12 blocks to the apartment of his girlfriend, Lil, and knocked on her door. She came to the door in her bathrobe. Giggity. No, that's not part of the story. I want you to wake up, he said. I'm awake, she said. Come on in. He went in. The TV was playing. He turned it off. No, he said. I mean, really wake up. She looked at him without comprehension, and so he snapped his fingers and shouted, "Wake up!" The master's command that you wake up. Are you off your rocker, George? She asked suspiciously. You sure are acting funny. He saw up her face. Cut that out, she cried. What the hell are you up to anyway? Nothing, said George, defeated. I was just kidding around. Slapping my face wasn't just kidding around, she cried. There was a knock at the door. George opened it. It was one of the aliens. Can't you keep the noise down into a dull roar, it said. The eyes in reptilian flesh faded a little when George saw the flickering image of a fat, middle-aged man in shirt sleeves. It was still a man, and when George slashed its throat with the eating knife, but it was an alien before it hit the floor. He dragged it into the apartment and kicked the door shut. What do you see there? He asked Lil, pointing to the many-eyed snake thing on the floor. Mr. Urkani, she whispered, her eyes wide with horror. You just killed him, like it was nothing at all. Don't scream anymore, George, advancing on her. I won't, George, I swear, I won't. Well, only, please, for the love of God, put down on that knife. And if she backed away until she had her shoulder blade pressed to the wall. George saw all that it was no use. I'm going to tie you up, said George. First tell me which room Mr. Urkani lived in. The first door on your left as you go toward the stairs, she said. Georgie, don't torture me. If you're going to kill me, do it clean. Please, Georgie, please. He tied her up with bedsheets and gagged her, then searched the body of the fascinator. There was another one of those little radios that talked a foreign language, another set of eating utensils, nothing else. George went next door, or when he knocked, one of the snake things answered. Who is it? Friend of Mr. Urkani, I want to see him, and said George. He went out for a second, but he'll be back. He'll be right back. The door opened in the crack, and 4 yellow eyes peeped out. You want to come in and wait? Okay, he said George, not looking at the eyes. You alone here? He asked As it closed the door. It's back to George. Yeah, why? He slit at its throat from behind and then searched the apartment. He found human bones and skulls, half eaten in hand. He found tanks with huge fat slugs floating in them. The children, he thought, and killed them all. There were guns, too, of a sort he had never seen before. He discharged one by accident, but fortunately it was no useless. It seemed to fire little poisoned darts. He pocketed the gun and as many boxes of darts as he could, went back to Lil's place. Then she saw him. He writhed in helpless terror. Relax, honey, he said, opening her purse. I just want to borrow your car keys. He took the keys and went downstairs to the street. Her her car her car was still parked in the same general area in which she always parked it. He recognized it by the dent in the right fender. He got in and started it and began driving aimlessly. He drove for hours, thinking and desperately searching for some way out. He turned on the radio to see if he could get some music, but there was nothing but news, and it was all about him, George Nada, the homicidal maniac. The announcer was one of the masters, but he sounded a little scared. Why should he be? What could one man do? George wasn't surprised when he saw the roadblock. He turned off on a side street before he reached it. No little trip to the country for you, Georgie boy, he thought to himself. Then he had discovered what he had done back. They had discovered what he had done back in Lil's place, so they would probably be looking for Lil's car. He parked it in an alley and took the subway. There were no aliens on the subway for some reason. Maybe they were too good for such things, or maybe it was because it was so late at night. When one finally did get on, and George got off, he went up the street and went into a bar. One of the fascinators was on the TV, saying over and over again, "We are your friends. We are your friends. We are your friends." The stupid lizard had sounded scared. Why? What could one man do against all of them? George ordered a beer. Excuse me, I'm gonna get a drink. George ordered a beer. Then it suddenly struck him that the fascinator on the TV no longer seemed to have any power over him. He looked at it again and thought, it has to believe it can master me to do it. The slightest hint of fear on its part and the power to hypnotize is lost. They flashed George's picture on the TV screen, and George retreated to the phone booth. He called his control, the chief of police. "Hello, Robinson?" he asked. "Speaking. This is George Nada. I figured out how to wake people up." "What? George? Hang on. Where are you?" Robinson sounded almost hysterical. He hung up and paid and left the bar. They would probably trace his call. He called another subway. He went downtown. It was dawn when he entered the building, housing the biggest of the city's TV studios. He consulted the building director and then went up in the elevator. The cop up in front of the studio recognized him. "Why, you're Nada," he gasped. George didn't like to shoot him with a poison dart gun, but he did so. He had to kill several more before he got into the studio itself, including all the engineers on duty. There were a lot of police sirens outside, excited shouts and running footsteps on the stairs. The alien was sitting before the TV camera saying, "We are your friends. We are your friends," and didn't see George come in. When George had shot him with the needle gun, and he stopped in mid-sentence and sat there dead. George stood near him and said, imitating the alien croak, "Wake up! Wake up! See us as we are and kill us." It was George's his voice, the city he heard that morning, but it was the fascinator's image. And the city did wake up for the very first time, and the war began. George did not live to see the victory that finally he came. He died of a heart attack at exactly 8 o'clock. And that was 8 o'clock in the morning. I hope you don't mind all my little flub hubs and stuff during readings. I was considering maybe pre-recording these readings and playing them back, so I can kind of edit out that those mistakes. But if you happen to like them live like this, let me know. I'd like to get some feedback back on this. So what we have here in the chat. At least. Yeah, see, always at least the case is if Diet Dr. Pepper and Reserve at all times I refuse to run out. Well, Dr. Pepper is good stuff. Yeah, roll. Well, I'm glad you came by. Hey, DJ. Hey, I hope you've enjoyed what you watched. Well, let's see here. I still got a few minutes to kill here, so how about I get to a few more songs before I wrap up? How's that sound? All right. So bring out the wheel. Yeah, me and my shadow. Me and my shadow strolling down the avenue. Me and my shadow, not a soul to tell our troubles to. When it's 12 o'clock, we climb the stairs. We never knock, 'cause no one's there. It's just me and my shadow, all alone and feeling blue. Well, that's kind of a short one, so let's give that another roll. Give my regards. It's to Broadway. All right. I'm gonna have to find that one. Don't know that one by heart. I should know that one by heart. Why don't I know that one by heart? Let's see here. Do-do-do. I think this is. There we are. Okay. Did you ever see two Yankees part upon a foreign shore when the good ship's just about to start for old New York once more? With tear-dimmed eyes, they say goodbye. They're friends, without a doubt. When the man on the pier shouts, "Let them clear," as the ship strikes out. Give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old-time throng. Give my regards to Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Say hello to dear old Coney Island if there you chance to be. And when you're at the Wardrough, have a smile and charge it up to me. Mention my name every place you go, as around the town you roam. Wish you'd call on my gal. Now remember, old pal, when you get back home, give my regards to Broadway. Remember me to Herald Square. Tell all the gang at 42nd Street that I will soon be there. Whisper of how I'm yearning to mingle with the old time throng. Give my regards to Broadway and say that I'll be there ere long. Okay. Well, getting to near the end of the show here, I think we've got enough time for one more song. And how about instead of going onto the wheel, we do a little bit of Tom Lear. Let's see if I can get this one right. I've been practicing this one. And a thank you to Tom Lehrer for opening in the floodgates to your entire collection and giving permission and for people who sing them and use them as they like. This one, of course, is Be Prepared. That's the Boy Scouts marching song. Be prepared. As through life you march along, be prepared to hold your liquor pretty well. Don't write naughty words on the wall if you can't spell. Be prepared to hide that pack of cigarettes. Don't make books if you can't confer bets. Keep those reefers hidden where you're sure that they won't be found. And be careful not to smoke them when the scoutmaster is around, for he will only insist that they be shared. Be prepared. Be prepared. That's the Boy Scout solemn creed. Be prepared. And be clean and worn indeed. Don't solicit for your sister, that's not nice, unless you get a good percentage of her prize. Be prepared. Be careful not to do your good deeds when no one's watching you. And if you're looking for adventure of a new and different kind and come across a Girl Scout of a similarly inclined, don't be nervous, don't be flustered, don't be scared. Be prepared. I'm not sure if I'm totally prepared for that song, but I hope you enjoyed it anyway. If you didn't enjoy it, well, don't worry. I'm sure the bleeding will stop up very quickly. But we're coming up on the hour here, so I wanted to direct everybody over to another show that is going to be starting shortly. For wrap up here, it's going to be starting in about 6 minutes. This is Theta Zord's show. He's going to be doing Theta's Radio Horror Theater with Mr. Sardonicus, a spine-chilling tale of suspense. So there's a link for that show over there in the chat. And I really need to come up with some way of ending these live stream games because it's always so awkward to think of what to say. Well, let's see here. How about I end it with let's see. Oh, I know what I can end it with. My long lost parrot. It's here. Oh, yes, this will be a good one. Yes, my parrot Nalo. Interesting little story with him. Oh, and I've got Molly jumping up in my lap, wanting hugs. Interesting little story about that parrot. She died in the same month and year that Molly, my doggie here, was born. And it's almost like reincarnation, if you believe in that sort of thing. But please do go over to Theodord's channel. And for some reason, my own post is not showing up in this thing here. So I guess I will just. Now I see why I can't. I don't have controls over this. I'm using the wrong account. This is why I don't have my usual controls. I was connected to the wrong account this whole time. But there's the link one more time, and just in case YouTube decided to screw up on me. So, bye, and for everyone who sees this later on, I hope you enjoyed the show.